Ladies and gentlemen, my name is V, and I really want to become a filmmaker one day if I'm blessed that much. And today, ENHYPEN, for their upcoming project, they dropped a concept film. So we are going to check it out and see what we learn from them, which will elevate our filmmaking journey. Let us go. My name is V, and this is Funny Production. You know, as a filmmaker, before you even pick up the camera, first thing you have to do, sit down and think about this. Is my project horror? Is my project like a comedy? Is my project like a sci-fi? And from where? That's when you will know what camera technique you will use the most. Like right here, the whole music video started with a shaky camera because it's a horror. There's a lot that we don't know, and when we don't know much, we are uncertain, and when we are uncertain, we are a bit shaky. So our camera also has to be a bit shaky. Should understand that first as a filmmaker. And I really like how always as a filmmaker you have a choice to start on a subject. But I really like when filmmakers choose to start from the objects and make motion going to the subject. It makes the project, like once in a while much more enjoyable. Like most people think like the video has to be like more focused on the subject in order for the story to be properly told. But it's not true always. Like sometimes the objects too can tell a story. Let us keep watching. I really always like to say this. When you are making a concept film like this, the one thing you have to rely on heavily is the soundtrack, you are provided with, and plus the sound effects. So whatever you do, it's like choreographing. Yeah, you have to match everything to the soundtrack because that's how you achieve what you really want. Because like for this concept film, like I really think like there is a bit of horror vibes to it. This is scary, and you can feel like the soundtrack of it is really closing that. Like those notes with a very high reverb and everything. Like this is what making it. This is what is making this concept film much more film. Let us keep watching. I really like this. Like in this whole concept film, going from one scene to another. Like me personally, I'm not that experienced. Like I can't even say I'm lucky, but prioritizing this one thing. Going from one shot to another is being done with motion. And when there is motion, we as the audience, really get confused. And like we pay much attention. And that is when you enjoy something like I don't know their name, but I can tell like the member we started with, it's not this one we are on. And luckily I didn't know this one's member name. His name is Nikki. We started from one member, and when it comes to Nikki, we used a bit of motion and a bit of pro, like to make it sweet, to feel like this is a one shot. But basically, this is not a one shot. There are multiple shots, but they involves motions. That is why like we are feeling the flow. Let us keep watching. That shot they previously showed us like you are sitting in the mirror and you are not doing anything, but your mirror is doing something. That shot is really creepy. But also, it is very good at storytelling, but what I'm really surprised is how simple it is to make it. Use a static shot, you have to put your camera on a tripod, record the subject on one side, and maybe in this case, they recorded this member, and what was hard is the blending him in that manner, and adding a bit of effect and composition, but to making two copies of him in the same video, you shot a static video and you draw a bit of line where the two subjects, differ. And when it is done, you take those two shots, you put them on top of each other in Premiere Pro, and you mask both of them. It is simple as that. But this shot is creepy. Maybe doing great things is this simple, right? What is hard is the idea. Let us keep watching. And yet another time they use this trick, and right now you can tell this creepy. This is what I can say, it is an extreme wide shot, but not that extreme. And you can see this is a static shot, but it shows a great view. This is a simple, but either way, this is one of the best techniques of storytelling, really. Let us keep watching. And I really like this. To tell you the story, first we start from an extreme wide shot. Introduce the subjects, and the environment they are in. Right now, someone the exact copy of you is lying sort of dead. And in order to tell the story a bit more how surprised you are, then we come to a medium shot in which you are coming observing closely. This is real storytelling. Let us keep watching. And I'm always talking about this, but are you seeing how they are coming from one member to another? There's always a bit of motion. This is enjoyable because it makes it visible. Because I don't know about you, but me myself, I really like movement in music videos or concept films and everything. Movement makes me excited, I like to work for my enjoyment. Let us keep watching. This is a storytelling technique I always like to talk about, because this is a storytelling technique where there is timelines, and in order to tell the story properly, you have to break it down a bit, because if they shot the subject and the blood fell, by the moment we come to our subject, the blood will be already on his hand, but let's tell the story properly. We shot the object, and the blood drops, and in order to tell the story properly, we go a bit back to the timeline of the story in order to show the reaction on this member's hand as the blood fell. And what we are going to do next, you don't have to include the hand, maybe you can just include it. We're going to show the emotion on his face. Let us keep watching. Right now, let us first talk about what is happening with our soundtrack right now. We are near to the end, and the suspense is rising, rising. This is what horror is all about, because horror, basically, it's shots and everything, but mostly it is of a soundtrack and sound effect. And right now, this guy really knows his or her horror. And right now, as it is rising, our heart are also beating a lot. Let us keep watching. And these drums they added, and they are making a zoom out, on this member, is getting extra kick like this is real horror filmmaking. Let us keep watching. You know, this was a masterpiece. Like the way it was shot, the style, like this is the style of horror. You know, right? This is his credit according to the background and everything. And the one who shot this really understands what makes horror. You know, like basically what makes horror basically is like the sound. Yeah, the sound is what makes horror match. It is true. Like horror basically is the sound selection you have as an editor. But either way, this was like a masterclass for me. I really learned a lot about the storytelling and the cinematography behind this concept film was sick, you know. And please subscribe and join my Discord server. I have a dream of making films and games, and I'm looking for people who shares similar interests so that we can learn from each other and also share inspiration like the way forward requires cooperation, take action and we will talk, I'm always there. Until next time, stay safe. My name is Lee and this is Funny Production.